All right, guys, so it's 2026 now. It's really time to ramp things up. Um, One thing that's really been on my mind is that, things are getting real competitive. Things are getting really, really competitive. And it's up to you, you know, how you structure yourself, how you organize yourself, and, your mindset, everything you're doing in your life, right? It's all about how you organize yourself in 2026 and beyond because, like I said, it's getting real competitive. Everything's competitive. The job market, business, you know, um, anything that you want to achieve, you're going to have hurdles. So it starts with your mindset. And if you really want to win, you got to set yourself up to win, right? So it's all about, firstly, how you view yourself, okay? What you think about yourself, what you know about yourself. You got to understand what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are. You got to understand what makes you crack under pressure, what's going to make you feel inspired, what's going to motivate you, what's going to keep you disciplined. You know all that about yourself, so you need to make sure that you're on point and you understand that about, because no one knows who you are but you, right? I might reframe that. No one knows you the way you know yourself, okay? So that's the first thing. You got to really understand, who you are and what you know about yourself. The next thing, is that you got to know what you're good at. That comes naturally to you. You got to know what it is, what skill you have that just comes naturally to you, that you don't, how should I put it, that you don't have to think too much about doing, or you don't hate doing, right? Once you understand what that thing is and what that skill is, you got to figure out how can you monetize it? How can you produce enough value to the point where, you can monetize it and actually, create an income from it, whether it's in a job, a partnership with someone, a contract of some kind, or, any sort of value where you can actually display it online. And if you could do it online, that's the best way to do it, obviously, You also got to have the right people around you, the right support network, the right friends and family that who are there to, people that want to see you win, right? Not only that, but people who are there and understand who you are and what you're trying to achieve, and will be there for you if ever you need them, okay? You can't do everything alone. You can't even win in life alone. You need people around you. You need a support group or a support network of people. And you need to be able to put people in the right places, okay? That's not to say that you can't give them value, because at the end of the day, that's your number one goal, right? Your number one goal is to give as much value as you can to people in the world, people around you, friends, family, colleagues, all that kind of stuff, right? Show that your value is there for them whenever they need it, okay? So keep that in mind. That's a big one. People around you, the people you have around you is so important, especially in this day and time when, people are against you, people want to hold you back, people want to see you fail, okay? So keep that in mind, right? Make sure that, you're looking after yourself, looking after your health, okay? Make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're getting some exercise. Oxygen's key, Even if it's just a walk every day for 45 minutes, get that walk in, because that's a form of exercise. Get that oxygen in your blood. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. Get your nutrients in. Figure out, what kind of vegetables you need. Figure out the type of protein you need that's going to help you produce, right? Look after yourself, man. Figure out what it is that keeps you relaxed. Your hobbies are very important. The things you love to do, the things that you're into, even if it's the nerdy shit, right? If you're into some nerdy shit, that's you. You wouldn't have to tell people what you're into. You know what I mean? Not that I'm hiding some crazy shit, because I'm not, from my friends and family. They all know what I'm into, music, sports, comedy, things of that nature, right? So just make sure that you keep your hobbies in your life, and you really enjoy what you do. And whenever you get time to do it, enjoy it fully. I like fishing too. So that's another thing that I want to add. Just make sure that you got your hobbies close to you, and that you're constantly thinking about the things and geeking out on the things that you love to get into, okay? All these things is what helps you regulate your nervous system, okay? If your stress system, basically, because if you're too stressed, you can't produce. If you're too stressed, you can't think right, you can't sleep right, you can't do shit, right? So that's the other thing. Look after yourself, okay? So yeah, 2026, man, it's time to really go for what you want in life. Be yourself. That's the other thing. Be yourself, be authentic, be who you are. Don't try to be somebody else, okay? Because that will come across as being fake. Know who you are, know what you're good at, look after yourself, right? And, make sure that you get into your hobbies, okay? But yeah, like I keep saying, 2026, man. I keep saying it because this is going to be a big year for me, and I hope this is going to be a big year for you too, right? Follow me, subscribe to my channel. Share this video with somebody who you think might need the pickup or the inspiration. I'm a little rusty because it's my first time doing a video in quite a while, but I hope to get some good fluency going in and some good momentum, and I hope to give you more good content as we move forward into this year. All right. But yeah, hope to speak to you soon, and make 2026 a big one. Peace.